Welcome, folks, to this deep dive into smart contracts on blockchain. Think of them as self-executing digital agreements that kick in automatically once conditions are met. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
handing over control to code, and when you satisfy the criteria, it does all the work.
Absolutely. It's fascinating how these contracts work using straightforward if, when, then logic, automating processes with no need for a middleman.
Right. So imagine you're at a vending machine. You insert a coin and bam, the snack comes out. In the digital realm, if you, say, deposit a certain amount of cryptocurrency, the smart contract kicks in and transfers the asset as programmed.
Yeah,
It's a neat automation tool.
and what's really cool is that every transaction gets recorded on the blockchain, which makes everything transparent and tamper-proof, right?
Exactly. And that ledger-like system, ensures that once the contract is deployed, any action is visible to all parties involved. This transparency builds trust. No hidden surprises.
Mm-hmm. But I wonder, doesn't the immutability of these contracts sometimes pose a problem if there's a coding error? If you've got a bug in the code, there's no easy fix, is there?
Right. That's a key challenge. Once deployed, the contract can't be altered, so any mistake in the code remains. Much like if a chef messes up a recipe and you're stuck with that dish forever.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the need for top-notch developer expertise comes in, ensuring the contract is airtight from the start.
For sure. And it's not just about locking in code, it's also about overcoming security loopholes. You remember the whole DAO fiasco on Ethereum, right? A vulnerability led to a massive hack and even a split in the blockchain.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that incident still echoes through the blockchain community, serving as a cautionary tale. But moving to applications, isn't it amazing how smart contracts are everywhere now?
Absolutely. They're reshaping fields like decentralized finance, supply chain, real estate, healthcare, insurance, and even gaming.
Yeah,
Every time you trade on a crypto exchange or purchase digital art on an NFT marketplace, a smart contract is at work, ensuring the exchange is fair and secure.
right? And in decentralized finance or DeFi, these contracts eliminate cumbersome intermediaries like banks, cutting down time and reducing costs dramatically.
Yeah, it's like having a high-speed elevator in a busy building, much faster and efficient than those creaky old staircases. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not just speed. It's also about accuracy and precision. The predetermined conditions execute exactly as they're coded, ensuring there's minimal room for human error.
That clarity is what really drives trust. When you know the rules are set in stone on a transparent blockchain, you feel, well, secure in the process.
Right. And speaking of clarity, let's not forget the origins. The concept dates back to Nick Szabo in 1994, who envisioned using code to enforce
Yeah,
contracts
true.
automatically. It's like an idea planted decades ago that only flourished once blockchain technology provided its nurturing environment.
And then you have Bitcoin, bringing in the first taste of decentralized ledger power, which paved the way for Ethereum, whose launch in 2015 with its own cryptocurrency, Ether, really brought smart contracts into the limelight.
Right. Ethereum was revolutionary because it allowed not just simple transactions, but actual code execution on the blockchain. Imagine being able to build decentralized applications that run without a central authority. It's like giving power back to the
Exactly.
people.
And over time, we saw an explosion of interest, like during the ICO boom in 2017. Smart contracts truly demonstrated their potential in raising capital and creating new avenues for business.
Yeah, and since then, with the rise of DeFi and NFTs around 2020, smart contracts have gone from being a niche technology to a backbone of modern digital infrastructure.
Absolutely. Speaking of NFTs, it's fascinating that these contracts manage digital art and collectibles, ensuring provenance and verifying authenticity, which is crucial in the digital age.
Right, and it's interesting how smart contracts eliminate the need for intermediaries like auction houses or legal firms making transactions direct. Kind of like bypassing the middleman at a flea market.
Mm-hmm. But I do have a slight concern. While they slash costs and boost efficiency, don't you think their reliance on precise coding makes them an area ripe for exploitation if not properly managed?
That's a very valid point. The flip side of the coin, if you will. The accuracy of code is a double-edged sword. Any errors or vulnerabilities, as we mentioned, can be exploited, leading to significant financial losses. It really stresses the need for rigorous audits and skilled developers.
Right? Exactly. And regular audits help mitigate these risks. After all, in such a fast-evolving space, staying a step ahead of potential exploits is crucial.
Absolutely. And while we're on security and efficiency, it's worth mentioning gas fees on platforms like Ethereum. Every execution of a smart contract involves a fee, which compensates miners for processing transactions.
Yeah, that's an extra layer that sometimes becomes a bottleneck. True, those gas fees can be a pain point, especially when network congestion spikes. It's a reminder that even as the technology scales, there are operational challenges to address.
Right. But innovators are already working on solutions, like Layer 2 scaling and alternative blockchains that offer lower fees while keeping security intact. It's an exciting time. We're basically witnessing the evolution of contracts themselves.
And speaking of evolution, what about future possibilities? Could smart contracts extend beyond finance and digital art?
Oh, definitely. The future is vast. Imagine governments using smart contracts for transparent voting systems, or smart cities managing utilities in real time. It's like a digital nervous system running critical infrastructure.
I see that. That would really revolutionize public services. Even in industries like healthcare, smart contracts could manage patient consent and data sharing securely, ensuring only authorized access.
Exactly. Systems like MedRec are already exploring these ideas, giving patients control over their data. And in insurance, claims can be processed automatically, which is transformative for how we handle risk and compensation.
But then again, I do wonder, with such widespread deployment, how do we handle interoperability between different blockchain platforms?
That's a challenge for sure. Interoperability requires standardized protocols and bridges between blockchains. And while progress is being made, it's still a work in progress. It's like different languages trying to communicate. Alignment is key.
Yeah, true. And what about regulatory concerns? The self-executing nature of smart contracts might clash with legal systems that still require human oversight in contractual disputes.
Right. Regulatory frameworks are trying to catch up to these rapid technological advances. There's a balance to be struck. Because while smart contracts bring speed and efficiency, the lack of a human intermediary can be problematic if something unexpected happens.
That's a fair critique. It seems like even though the technology is promising, the ecosystem needs a framework to manage edge cases that code can't always predict.
Yep, that's definitely something we need to see evolve. But overall, the benefits, speed, transparency, security, and cost reduction continue to drive adoption across industries.
Right? It's thrilling to see how these smart contracts are like the invisible engine behind so many modern applications, from peer-to-peer trades on exchanges to facilitating real estate deals seamlessly.
Absolutely. And every time you execute a smart contract, whether it's minting an NFT or processing a decentralized loan, you're participating in a more efficient, secure digital economy.
Yeah, and isn't it incredible that what began as a theoretical idea by Nick Szabo in 1994 has now transformed into a foundation of modern, trustless transactions?
Totally incredible. It's like watching a scientific theory evolve into a practical wonder, transforming industries and reshaping our approach to traditional contracts.
So, to wrap this up, smart contracts, despite their challenges like immutability and the requirement for flawless coding, offer enormous benefits in efficiency, transparency, and cost effectiveness.
Exactly. And as we continue to refine these systems and overcome hurdles like interoperability and regulatory adaptation, smart contracts will likely become even more integral to everyday transactions and processes.
Right on. It's been great discussing how these digital contracts are not only revolutionizing finance and art, but also have the potential to transform governance and societal infrastructure.
Indeed, it's a brave new world we're stepping into, where code and contracts seamlessly intertwine to build a more automated, secure future. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thanks a lot.